Welcome to History's a Mystery with your host, Elias. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the Industrial Revolution in England. In the early 1700s, many new inventions and methods began to be used, which soon brought an increase in population on the island of the United Kingdom. This is what we're going to talk about today. With the factors of production on British side.
Get out of here!
Whoa, I'm not going to fall off. No!
Sorry guys, I don't know who that was. With the factors of production on Britain's side, new inventions that would boost production were created. In the textile industry, faster methods of weaving emerged, starting with the flying shuttle and developing into the power loom. Just in this industry, there is a booming amount of creativity and hunger for production as plantations also began to use cotton gins to weave cotton faster.
There are also many more improvements in the transportation industry as well. The steam engine was soon mounted onto boats to create a faster mean of traveling. To accommodate for its creation, canals were created for their use further inland. In addition to being used on boats, a new railroad age was soon to emerge from the steam engine. George Stephenson made an innovation to the steamboat to transport goods, and this method soon took popularity from transportation. Railroad systems began to be developed inland to transport goods, and soon major effects arose from it. It became cheaper to transport goods. Work was now available at larger distances from home for being able to travel faster inland, and industries began to move in production to meet the supply and demand of products.
As villagers were forced to go live in cities after having their farms bought by landowners, they needed a new form of bringing income to their families. The answer to this problem was to work in the factories. As goods increased, population increased in the cities. However, negative effects rose from industrialization in cities, such as unsanitary living conditions, no building codes, and no plans for developing cities. The workers began to be paid more and more. There were terrible working conditions, as workers were not protected from the dangers of operating machinery that would help boost production. Unions were formed to negotiate reforms before they had to be changed. However, capitalists refused to allow the government to do this, for they wanted a free market economy in which they could control their workers' conditions. By the early 1800s, the governments began to recognize unions and create reforms to defend laborers. These government reforms included the abolishment of free labor or slavery, gender wage equality, free schooling, and the right to strike peacefully. As we look onto today's lifestyle, we can see that most of who we are have been affected by the Industrial Revolution. Technology, education, and even the way we have lived.
And this concludes our episode of the Industrial Revolution. Revolution, reaction, reform.